so now let's talk about NXT.
You know, it's weird that NXT is so far out from when we re-kick off the show that sometimes I just forget what happened. So I try and breeze my notes as we go into it. So NXT, February 24th, 2021. We open with the recap of S02 is fucked. I agree. Match 1, Dexter Lumis versus Johnny. Interesting. The wrong way do comedy. Austin Theory is a dumb jock now.
Non-title match.
Non-title match for the North American Championship because for some reason they like to do this thing with if they beat the champion, they get a championship match, which is what they've been doing on WWE for quite a while now. But it's not like it's building into like a pay-per-view or something where they do things like that. It's just if he beats him 1 week, he gets a championship match in like 2 weeks. It's stupid. Okay.
Lumis straight to creepy. Love this gimmick.
Yes. Also, Austin is like.
You don't like what they're doing.
I don't like what they're doing. Like he's basically turned into like I don't even know what to describe him as. Like I can see the cartoon in my head. He's almost like Johnny Bravo at this point. Like it's just sad.
Nice.
And so they get in the ring and he can't do the high five thing, right? Because he's so flustered. Okay, and
Lumis goes under the ring.
Lumis crawls under the ring,
and they didn't think that he'd obviously go to the other side.
I do want to note that the commentary team said Lumis has been messing with the wrong way for months, and I wrote down. Oh wait, no, they said all year. It's February.
It has been all year.
It has been all year.
That's been all year.
But come on, guys. Okay, let's see. Then apparently they all go to attack Lumis, and this doesn't cause the ref to DQ anything.
Right.
He also stops counting the count out at this point. Candice tries to do a Hurricane Rana on Lumis.
So before you go there, there was an amazing Luthez press by Lumis that looked amazing.
Yeah, Lumis.
And then he lifted 3 times for a suplex. So he did these kind of high impact moves, and I was really looking at this. Lumis is a master at controlling his breathing.
Yes.
He keeps that like stoic look, and you can just, if you look carefully, it's almost like watching, and I know you don't like him, but it's almost like watching Jeff Denham. You can barely see his lips moving, and you still start to believe that the puppets are real. Lumis is like you believe he's like, the dude is zen. He controls his breathing. And then he does this bulldog. The bulldog is
awesome.
That is an underrated move.
Yeah.
We didn't talk. That was one I couldn't think of last week.
We didn't talk about the bulldog being underrated. Yes.
So when he's talking about, he's talking about a minute ago about all this. Everybody was getting ready to team up. I wrote, I will give Candice credit. She's the only one willing to take Lumis on.
Yes, because as Lumis has been doing these amazing feats of strength, off to the corner, Indy is staring at it, and Indy doesn't charge Lumis down. She like kind of walks away from him. And then there comes a point when they get back in the ring and she's like on the apron like this, staring at Lumis.
No, open your mouth. I wrote, I cannot stop looking at Indy's mouth breathing now. Thanks, fucking Mike.
Because she also wears super black lipstick, so you can see how wide her mouth is. Yes. So I wrote down, it looks like she wants to fuck Lumis. I wrote down, okay. Austin and Indy then don't want to hurt Lumis at the end of the match for some reason.
Blow the chair shot.
Johnny calls for Austin to take a swing at it. They blow the chair spot. Johnny gets caught, and then he completely oversells silence by Lumis. It was horrible. Winner Lumis, I gave this 1.5.
I gave it 3 stars.
This was not a 3-star match. This
So,
was a clusterfuck.
Here's why.
Okay. Because Lumis looked awesome?
Everything Lumis does is very deliberate. He's probably the only slow wrestler that I get behind.
Well, yes, because he's Michael Myers. He's the murder monster.
But Gargano is an amazing wrestler. He sold well. He slowed his fast action pace down to the match. I don't know. The match worked. It really worked for me. I was like, I bought it. I bought in. Okay. Now, I didn't buy into the possession.
Yeah.
I looked at this as a wrestling match. Sometimes you look at the story. Sometimes you look at the whole thing. If you look at the wrestling alone, totally 3 stars. I can see. I might be willing to go down to 2.5
So
if you bring in the theatric,
so there's a point where Loomis is clearly directing traffic on Johnny, and he basically at one point is on his knees and he looks at Johnny and says, "Kick me," because Johnny's not doing anything, and Johnny throws his stupid sidekick that he never connects anything with, and Loomis goes and puts his hand up because he knows Johnny can't hit the kick and has to swat at Johnny's hand to make it go off. This was pretty not great. Okay.
So, I don't look for the details that you do sometimes because I don't have the inside. I guess I don't look for people talking, but sometimes it's obvious. So, all right.
I don't know this.
Okay.
You know what? Maybe I'm being cruel because I just slowly started to hate from the opening fact that
Your boy
this
Austin
Theory genius mastermind who screwed Damian Priest, who screwed this person and all this stuff, can't find his way to the ring now.
All right.
Okay. So backstage, Regal looks for the S02. He asks a random camera guy, who apparently his job it is to shoot the lot, if S02 shows up, come get me. And the camera guy's like, okay, I say. MSK and Shotzi are cool.
You forgot Wade. Wade is now on the phone. Wade's not there.
Oh, yes. Wade is calling it in.
And he said he's trapped in
He said he's trapped in Loomis's basement. Okay. All right. Wade's line was pretty funny here. MSK and Shotzi are cool, despite the fact that Shotzi loses every single match. Shotzi apparently likes tanks and Burger King. And then, all of a sudden, the Grizzled Young Vets destroy MSK backstage for no reason. The reason for this is that Wesley broke his wrist at TakeOver doing one of his big dives, so he is going to be out of action for probably, about 8 weeks or so?
True story.
So they had to get MSK out, so we will not be getting the tag team match for MSK and
anytime soon.
Whatever they're called in a couple weeks, okay? So it made no sense, but it covered up something, and it kind of worked and put some heat back on the Grizzled Young Vets for losing as well, too. So it worked. Match 2, Tyler Rust versus Leon Ruff. Malcolm mindfucks Leo into the match.
Yeah, so I wrote not Teddy Long is ambulance chasing.
So wait, can we? I don't know if the camera can get this real quick. So Leon is being examined in the room, right? Like the trainer's looking at his neck and doing everything, and he's like, "Can I go?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then in the corner, behind where stuff is at, as soon as the doctor walks off, Malcolm just pops up. He's like, "Leon, I got a proposition for you." So I fell out of the seat laughing so hard because he's just popped up. There's an injured wrestler for my guy.
So I didn't notice that this was what was going on, and I pointed it out to Dad. I'm like, "So Dad, check it out. He's an ambulance chaser. He's always asking Leon Russ or asking Tyler Russ to wrestle people that are in the trainer room.
That are in the trainer room getting checked out." This was hilarious. So Leon is super happy to be here. He's smiling when he comes out. He says, "Happy birthday, Kayla," in the camera, which I assume is either the wife or daughter. And then he gets his face kicked in by Swerve.
Because he wants opportunities.
Yes. Also, Russ' chest hair is gross. So I don't know why I caught this week, and it bugged the crap out of me. So Rust has got an interesting body. Camera-wise, you probably can't see it, but my chest here is sunk in because I did a lot of diamond push-ups, which shaped my chest inward. Rust's chest is also shaped inward, but he's much more muscular. But he has this weird stringy patch of hair in the middle of his pushed-in cave part of his chest.
It that way,
which made it really weird because it was like stringy, sweaty hair coming off of him, and I just thought, if you're going to shave the rest of your chest, why have this weird, like, dead rat?
Because you're talking about
on your chest right there.
It a fun thing. Last year, 2 years ago, for Defy, in Tacoma, was the main event was Swerve versus Darby Allin.
I believe we mentioned that before because Swerve, hometown hero here. So basically, what ends up happening is Ruff can't go. He's destroyed. Malcolm basically claims that Tyler's the winner, and Swerve yells at the booth, essentially, that the microphones are able to pick up, that he's sick of not getting an opportunity while everything keeps getting handed to Leon Ruff. He's like, this dude's a joke. You know, I'm going to start taking control of my own shit, basically, which was fine. Like, I like Swerve's heel turn. They need heels on NXT, and truthfully, NXT has a weird problem where, like, everybody's super athletic and good at their job, to where it's kind of hard to boo some people because they're really good. So him being heelish and beating up poor Leon Ruff works great.
Well, we don't forget, we do have Rodriguez and Dakota Kai. We can boo them.
Okay, so backstage, Regal gives a shot for this new gal, Zoe, to fight Io Shirai.
And then we have
Her promo's awful, by the way.
And then we have the weirdest... somebody in the booth was screwing up because we saw the back of a cameraman, we saw someone's butt, we see Shirai and just standing there like
this
waiting.
Was weird. And then so it's supposed to go to match 3. And then they're coming down to the ring and doing stuff. Zoe gets down there, and then they cut to backstage with Cameron Grimes. And Cameron Grimes wants to humiliate people like the $1 Million Man and fails.
I wrote, must give the money back because he didn't have. Please bring the $1 Million Man into this, please.
Okay, so we're gonna go
Zoe
a little
versus
bit
Io.
further on this. By the way, this took place in between of the entrances for the match, so
Which
I don't know
makes
what was
no
happening
sense.
here. Yeah, the production was way off base on the show tonight. So the match was kind of slow, and there was a decent amount of screw-ups in
Yeah, it was.
But as they went on a little bit longer, it started to get better.
Yeah, I wrote, Io is not the champ she used to look like. Does not look like the champ she used to.
Well, look at the dance partner she's been in with.
Stark's overhead suplex had Sherry land on her neck.
Yep.
Whew! Stark getting very frustrated. I wrote they didn't have great chemistry, but in time,
They got there.
This could go.
Yes.
This is something you would see at a house show first.
Yeah, this is something that needed to be ironed out before they put them two in the ring, okay?
This would be on AEW Dark.
Yeah. This did not need to be on the major show for it. And it definitely, this Zoe girl did not need to be put in this position right now, honestly. Because the only time you should put a brand newcomer in with your main champion to make her shine is if she really shines.
She can
And
lose.
She did not.
She can lose, but lose like Kushida has.
They do a sign of respect afterwards. I'm kind of getting really sick of the sign of respect stuff. But honestly, I gave this two stars.
I gave it two.
Winner Io Shirai, like I said, very slop early, but got much better. Backstage, the wrong way. Proceed to descend into madness. Indy wants to fuck Loomis legit.
You forgot Tony Storm coming up bragging about how she can beat him up.
Yes. Afterwards, Tony Storm comes out and she wants a match. Will she get a match? Question mark. Sorry. Yeah. Ugh.
Here's the thing, though.
Okay.
You can't beat me. I will fight you anytime, anywhere. Are you scared? Here's my question. Why would the champion make the match?
So, what Tony Storm is saying is that
Because
you're afraid of me and you can't beat me, so they're not giving me a number one contender match, which is weird because there's nobody else there to be the number one contender. Oh, God, you're right. This was terrible now that I think about it. Because she tells Io, if you're not afraid of me, you need to go to Regal and have him make the match, me versus you, for the belt. And Io Shirai says, you're on.
Right. I'd fight you anytime, anywhere.
In 2 weeks. You're right. This was awful now that I think about it.
All right. Just wanted to...
Maybe I'm just trying to not be... I'm saving all my negativity for Raw.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Here we go.
Yes, Indy wants to bang Loomis. Johnny says that they are all going to therapy.
Oh, this is the second... So here you go. This is the second time a wrestler has had to go to therapy because of Loomis. Roddy Strong had to go to therapy because of Loomis.
Oh, God. I'm just having flashbacks to Dr. Stevie and TNA.
Well, no. Do you think they're going to bring in Kane and Daniel Bryan's doctor for this?
Segment. Cameron Grimes continues to lose money on being a dumb fuck. Is he shooting an angle with Ted DiBiase now?
I don't know. But do you know who that big black woman was? I looked it up.
She was a WNBA player.
Yeah, she is a WNBA.
So essentially,
they call him on his bullshit.
Grimes is trying to do the $1 Million Man spot with the young black kid who I believe is actually somebody, if I remember correctly. And what he did is he had this young kid try and dribble a basketball, and he was going to give him $100, and then he cheats him to kind of get out of it. And that was the whole thing that DiBiase was doing. The idea was that Cameron Grimes was watching this, laughing about it, and wanted to start doing this to people, but he didn't watch the whole video. So the first guy he goes up to and says, "I give you $1,000 if you can dribble this basketball 10 times." And the guy goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And Grimes goes, "Damn it, Ted DiBiase, you got me."
And then, which the guy goes, "Maybe you should watch the whole video."
Yes. So then Cameron Grimes is walking around outside, and he comes up to 3 people, and he's like, "I'll bet you, well, not you, and you," and he points to the the black woman who's sitting on the ground, right? He goes, "You, I'll give you $1,000 you can dribble this 10 times." And then she stands up, and she's 6'4", and he's like,
WNBA.
and a WNBA player. And she dribbles it about 4 times, and Grimes goes to kick, and she goes between the legs and dribbles it up, and he has to give up another $1,000. So they're doing this great story about Grimes just blowing through his newfound money.
Great.
And it's a good thing for Grimes to be doing, honestly. It's heelish, and it's keeping him out because I think he got injured, okay? Match 4, Casey Catanzaro versus Zion.
Mortal Kombat!
It's written very large on my notes right here. Now, with Fan. Yes. Fight! Casey has the worst offense I've seen.
Destroyed.
My son throws better punches than Casey Catanzaro does. Wow. That was bad.
And then Caden wants a piece of the Sith Lord.
Okay, and then they keep talking about this sister love that has apparently existed between these gals that we've never ever seen. Casey gets her leg broken by Jai, which I believe the internet said that Casey is being written off because she did have a legit injury.
Yes.
So we've got a lot of people injured on the WWE this week who are being written off TV. And then,
Specifically NXT.
Caden runs up and tries to jump into the Sith Lord's face. The Johnny Cage holds her back by doing this. She keeps going, "What? What are you doing? What's going on?" And then Zai grabs a hold of her and says, "Next week, you're next." And I wrote down, why must this go on?
Xia Li's kick at the end was awesome, though.
Yeah, but it's just...
Back to Cameron Grimes!
Regal still can't find Santos. Finn walks into the building. Did you notice this?
I did.
So, Finn Balor, your world champion, as Regal is standing outside, like, doing the freaking John Travolta Pulp Fiction thing of looking around like, where is he at? Like, looking under things, can't find anything. I noticed that a handsome, muscular man with a red X on his jacket walks through the background into the building. And I'm like, great. So that's how they're saying Finn just rolls up. Also, Finn shows up an hour and a half into showtime. Sounds like something a champion would do. You went to the school of Bret Hart, didn't you? Okay, segment. More Cameron's Grimes. He proceeded to lose his money again with a guy, got mad, laid him out, and then took the handful of money that he had because he threw the basketball, and he throws it into the air, and he walks off. He was also pouring sweat.
Yeah,
his jacket had... His entire jacket from his neck down to his lower back was soaked in a sweat stain. It must be very hot in Florida right now.
So here's my question.
Yes.
Are we going to get a $1 Million Man payoff, or are we going to get a Virgil payoff? Or is he going to get somebody to be like Virgil?
Okay. So there's a lot of reasons why we should not have a Virgil Redux segment with a rich... Yeah. Okay.
I'm just asking you, where's this going to go?
I don't think they'll bring Virgil back because he's busy, like, selling his T-shirts in the freaking subway somewhere or something. Remember seeing that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then we have match 5 with Killian Dane and Drake Maverick versus the Grizzled Young Vets. The Grizzled Young Vets promo before the ring. Now they gave the other guy a mic, too. Now I know why they don't let the other guy usually talk. Caden really, really liked Killian Dane's stuff for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
He really was digging whenever Killian Dane was wrestling. And I could not figure out why. Because normally my son pays attention to about the first 15, 20 minutes, doesn't care unless maybe something happens. But when Killian Dane came on, he was like...
Maybe he enjoys how Killian Dane throws Drake Maverick all over the place.
Oh, yeah. So he was super fan. This was winner.
That's the offense.
Grizzled Young Vets. This was a 2.5-star match. I mean, every match on NXT this week was television good. And then the main event.
No. After the match, Killian carries Drake to the medical room yelling, "I need a doctor!"
Yes, so Drake got killed. Grizzled Young Vets win. This was fine. The match was good. And then, yes. So hold on. We'll get there. Backstage, Drake and Dane get insulted a lot more. And then one of the guys from Imperium walks up and goes, he's like, "What is wrong with you? You used to be monster. What is this?" And then he walks off, and Dane just kind of like sets Drake down. He's like, "I need a medic." So I guess they're breaking up.
I missed that. See, I only saw he needed a medic. So I thought this was going to lead to a Rust versus Drake next week.
Oh, maybe that's what they'll do is they'll have Rust versus Drake because they're trying because in the match they also kept talking about the fact that Dane used to be this monster and Wade wants to stop seeing the teddy bear and he wants to see the Beast of Belfast return, right? And then they do this thing with Imperium after the fact of it. So it looks like they're probably going to redirect Dane and maybe get him away from Maverick for a little bit, which is fine, I guess. Something
we forgot to mention, I'm just going to backtrack a second ago because I'm looking at my notes. That Io Shirai Zoe Stark match was 12 minutes long.
It should have been about 6 because only about 4 of it was good. Okay, so then we go to match 6. Cross versus S02. Okay.
There's a lot to say in this match.
Let me just do my thing. Mm-hmm. And then I want you to tell me what you thought. Oh, yes, thank you. So, Cross jumps S02 outside. Why is Cross being booked as a face all of a sudden?
Because, do you want me to answer that?
We'll cycle. Okay. So, Cross picks up a pickaxe at one point and doesn't swing it into the window. He swings it into the door.
Someone's going to pay for that.
Cross throws all of El Phantasmo through a wall. That was cool. Mm-hmm. Match goes on for a really long time. They beat the shit out of each other.
15 minutes.
He does the suplex through a table onto him, through the announce table. That was cool. Scarlett proceeds to have an orgasm. Winner carrying. The phrase, "It's all legal," I counted because I had to watch this match twice because I had to back it up because I got distracted. The phrase, "It's all legal," or something thereof, was said a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. How long was this match?
This match was 15 minutes and 22 seconds long.
So essentially every, 4 minutes, the phrase, "It's all legal," was said by someone on the announce team.
And you're not even counting the break for commercial that was in there, too.
Yes. They did a break for commercial in the middle of this freaking brutal match that they were doing.
So here are my comments.
I put down 2 stars. I wasn't super impressed with this.
So here's my... started in the parking lot. I thought it was interesting how they crushed Killian's shoulder with the truck door. That was different.
Yes, they had to figure out a way
to weaken him.
They had to figure out a way to hurt him. And they went for the shoulder, the surgically repaired shoulder, and honestly, it was good. S02 jumped in the back of a cargo truck, and Carrion goes to get in and get him, and he takes the big sliding door and boom, slams it right down on top of him.
So Esco locked himself in the truck, which is why he took the pickaxe to put it through the
He also ripped the big Waldo mirrors off the side of the trailer. That was pretty cool.
The Stooges try to help. They don't.
No.
Eventually, there was a triple beatdown for a little bit.
Why do I keep calling him Killian?
They drag Cross to the ring.
Cross kills 3 people for 15 minutes is what this was.
They threw the Stooges into the glass. I was really hoping one of them would shatter.
Yeah, that was cool.
Finally, about 7.5 minutes into the match, it's a one-on-one match. Well, not so much. Esco works the left arm. It's all legal. DDT on the chair. Anything and everything is legal. Back to the outside of the ring. There are no rules. It's all legal. Nothing they can do. It's all legal. It's all legal. I wrote that too. Back in the ring. Esco does a couple things. Only gets 2 count.
This makes me think that Vince is watching the show because I can just picture him on the thing going, "Tell him it's all legal."
There was a wild save from Esco. from being decapitated by the chair.
Yeah,
That
was pretty cool.
So he had his head on the chair on the stairs, and Cross was coming down with the chair, and the Esco douches grabbed him
They
out of the way.
timed it really well.
Oh, it
and
was
they shot it really well too. They shot
kind of across the way.
Carrion going up to it, up to the swing, and then they shot across from the other side of the ring of him being yanked back and hitting it. So they shot it well.
The suplex into the table is extremely dangerous looking.
Carrion took most of that, so I think it was.
And then they did another one inside the ring.
Yes.
It's his finishing suplex that looks very devastating.
Yeah, it's the Saito suplex. It's
And then he
nasty.
turns around and does the
Time's Up,
elbow to the back of the head.
which I don't like as his ending. I think he needs another move.
Right.
He needs another power move or something like. I just don't think an elbow to the back of the head is like. Well, okay, one, yes, and it could probably kill you, and he could probably kill you if he hits you with it. But it's one of those. It's like I just don't feel.
Yeah. After all of that,
Scarlett's having an orgasm through all this, and I'm just like having blue balls when he does it. You know, I'm not getting finished. I want to be finished when he lays someone out and kills them.
I gave it like 3. I actually gave it 3.5 stars because I thought for what it was really good. Now
he doesn't need a DDT. What would you say for him? Like give him like a Tiger Driver or something.
he definitely doesn't need a kick because everybody has a
No,
kick.
he doesn't need a kick. You know, and maybe a lariat or something. I don't
Well,
know.
I mean, since his whole thing, I'd almost say a sleeper type of thing, knock someone out with a submission.
Yeah, but Loomis has got
Yeah,
better
there you
area
go.
for silence. So yeah, you know, maybe a submission or something. You know, but I mean, they want to do the knockout thing. I get it, but
So,
I don't know.
Karrion Kross is not the face in this.
Yes, he
He's-
is.
okay, He's
He
the,
literally got jumped by 3 dudes and fought back 3 dudes.
he is the face in this, but he's not the face. This is like a Steve Austin.
They're flipping in the face. They're absolutely flipping in
No,
the face.
don't. There's no reason to.
They're over. They're over, so they're going to flip them.
So they didn't learn their lesson with
Nope.
with Bray Wyatt.
Nope.
All right, so next
Pre-tape. Lele Night. He talked to his cell phone.
I debut when I want to.
Yeah. God, that guy can talk. And you know what? For those of you who haven't seen it, go watch Eli Drake wrestle. Especially the last, what would you say, 6 months with him tagging with Magnus in...
Well, even that, you just go back the last year when you watch him in Global Force Wrestling.
Yeah, watch him in...
Not Impact, but when before it was Global Force Wrestling.
Yeah, go watch Eli Drake, man. The dude is...
He's going to bring something to it.
Yeah, he's going to be good, man.
I'm going to give MJF a peg up on the swarmy heelishness, but he's right below.
Oh, yeah, he's yeah. Okay, so let's wrap this up.
Adam Cole, baby.
Adam Cole, baby. Adam Cole feels bad. Adam Cole says...
long. You knew it was going to happen.
He's like, look,
I made mistakes.
I got greedy. Kyle kept getting opportunities. I've been overlooked. I just snapped. Kyle, you're at home. I'm sorry. I want things to go back to the way they were. I'm sorry. I'm going to fix it. Roddy comes out. Roddy is not happy either. Roddy's another guy who looks a certain way, but then he has a voice that doesn't match his body, and it's kind of sad. Because
you're sorry?
Roddy's like me. He's got a high voice, you know.
Now you're sorry? You shared our trust.
2.5 weeks have gone by, man. 10 days since we last spoke. What the hell is going on? So then
I did like his... No, before you go to the next thing. His line, Kyle's going to heal, but when he is done, I don't know if I can save you from what he's going to do to you.
Yeah, no.
That was like...
Look, there's a reason that Roddy was so good for so long, and I love Roddy Strong.
I slept on it. I
love Roddy Strong. Okay, the king of the backbreaker, man. Oh my God, he's amazing. So then Finn comes out after Cole. Roddy goes to help. Adam kills Finn. Then Roddy kills Cole. Then Cole cries. Then he nuts Roddy. And then he looks at him and he says, "You, an Undisputed Era, you're dead to me." And he rips the dog tags off and throws them on the ground.
You're my brother. I love you. They hug it out, and then low blow.
Yep.
Super kick.
because Adam
You are
Cole,
stupid.
baby. I like it. I like where NXT's heading. They've got some places that they're shifting. They're moving around. Overall, everything was good.
It was a good show.
I wasn't impressed with the everything's legal match,
Right.
just because I kind of didn't understand the story of why I feel that they were booking Cross a certain way, and the fact that they wanted to draw that out as long as they did.
So the other thing is, you haven't gotten to see Cross be a badass, because as soon as he was a badass, he got hurt.
Yeah.
So let's remember why he's a badass.
Yes, and that's the other thing too, is that I also remember Smoke Show doing a strip dance for Scott Steiner in Impact, so I'm tainted by some of the things that they did when I saw them. When he came over, everybody was talking about Karrion Kross, and then I saw him and her, and I was like, oh, that shitty team from Impact? Okay. But then I saw them with the slow build, but then there was the stuff with Keith Lee, with the flame smoke contract thing and stuff, and it's just like, I felt like this is NXT's Bray Wyatt. But the thing with him is every time I see Cross, I am impressed with what he does.
Yeah.
I just feel like he's so overproduced, though, that he should just... I feel like if this was like New Japan, he would be an upper echelon guy.
Okay.
Real quick, on NXT UK, February 25th, 2021, Match 1, Xia Brookside versus Nia Samuels for the personal assistant match. This sucked. This is a massive step back for women's wrestling. The assistant, Henry, quits in the middle of the match and refuses to let Nia cheat with the loaded purse. Winner Brookside, -1 star.
5 minutes, 44 seconds.
This sucked. Pre-tape, Trent's 7 weight cut story is very inspiring. It actually is.
Okay. I didn't know if that was sarcasm.
No, it's actually...
Okay.
I don't know if they're actually cutting weight for him and legit trying to get him down under 205 or so, or if they're just shooting a bunch of vignettes to make it this inspiring story that he's cutting weight. The point is that the dude is really putting in the reps to make it look like he's cutting weight, like running across like a fucking frozen tundra in Europe or wherever they're at, and climbing mountains like Rocky.
I saw that movie. It was Rocky 4.
Yes, that's what he's doing. Backstage, Ilya doesn't want to snap. He has to get control of his emotions. Gradwell mouths off. Then he grabs a hold of the big, gigantic black security guard and pulls him in front of him. While he continues to mouth off, Ilya and Gradwell decide to make a match. Okay, cool. You've heard my views of how awesome I think Ilya Dragunov is. Match 2, Bailey Matthews versus Tyler Bate. Bailey is 19, and he looks like he's 40. And he wrestles like he's 40.
Nice.
There's a fuck up with a pin spot. And then I wrote down, this was damn good. Go watch this match on NXT UK.
5 minutes, 43 seconds.
I felt that this was a much longer match, but not in the way of oh my god, this went on so long.
Yeah.
This went on very well. And the dude's weird. He looks like a guy out of the 40s. He looks like Carl Gotch.
Okay.
And he's 19.
All right.
But have you seen Tyler Bate have a bad match?
No.
Okay, so there you go. Promo... We've got... I don't know who this person was. I actually wrote down a name and then question mark. So I don't know who this was. Then Joseph Connor and Piper proceed to talk shit to each other backstage. She then gets slapped by Jenny, who attacks. I don't care. Piper wants a match. The matchmaker guy says you can't have a match. Jenny...
You can't handle the truth.
Jenny and Joseph are going to do a mixed tag thing. Piper just looks around and grabs a random person who happens to be Jack Stars and says, we're going to have a match. So they make a mixed tag match for them. Okay. I don't know where this is going or why. If you do remember, they had the match with Piper and everything, and Jenny came out and they did the title spot with the table and everything like that. So this is where this is all tied together and through. It's just... I don't care. Okay. Match 3, Lane Austin versus Eva Valkyrie. Lana. Lana Austin versus Eva Valkyrie. Lana Austin is apparently a mother of 3.
Okay.
She has awful offense. Eva is questioning herself, apparently, is the story that they're trying to tell, even though Eva Valkyrie is on a complete winning streak. Winner Eva, this was not good. This is 1.5 stars. I wasn't a fan. Backstage, Xia Brookside is making Nia carry her shit. And she looks back and says, you asked for this. Okay. Use it. You did it. Might as well use it.
So, match 4, Pretty Deadly versus Gallus for the tag team belts. When this started,
15-minute match.
somebody was sitting beside me. Might have been the wife. And I said, if these fucking guys win, I don't think I'm watching NXT UK again. So, there's a spot in the... there's a hot tag from Wolfgang in, and the announce team goes, "That's fresh coffee there," or something like that. And I laughed so hard at the thought of, because, Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey, it was just, the fact that he said, "That's a fresh coffee," just, it made me laugh, because
Something needed to.
something needed to make me laugh. Okay. So, Pretty Deadly go to cheat by using the tag belts. They get a hold of both of them, and they throw one to the ring, and then the other guy has one. So the ref gets distracted by stopping the one guy from using the tag belts. The other guy, who got a hold of the other tag belt, goes to lay out Wolfgang. Wolfgang ducks under. They end up getting kicked. They do a DDT onto the belt. Wolfgang gets laid out. And then Pretty Deadly win.
Yes, they do.
And they dethroned Gallus, who was on a 546-day title run. The sad thing is this was a dumb ending to a good match. This was a 2.5-star match for TV. This was probably a 3-star match. This is the best I've seen Pretty Deadly work, which means they need people. They can't lead. They have to follow, in my opinion, for this. Obviously, we've talked about how much I love Gallus and have really come on with these guys, and I love the Coffee Boys, and I don't think that this was the way to go about getting it off of them because of the fuck finish.
So are you going to stop watching NXT UK?
No, I won't stop watching it. Walter better fucking show up.
So that's NXT and NXT UK. Some good shows.
Ring of Honor.
So next we're going to move into Ring of Honor and SmackDown.